Making content isn't easy. You literally have to make it a part of your life. Like, you have to dedicate time to do it, and you have to be consistent, and you have to learn from your mistakes. And other people might not know what those mistakes are. Like, I don't consistently hashtag my content, and at a point in time, I was really upset about it, and I would go back and edit it or delete it or whatever the case may be. But truth be told, I'm just happy that I put out content. I have been wanting to do this for a while, but I had too many things that was holding me back, and all of it was mental. All of it was out of concern of other people's opinion and other people's judgment, and you shouldn't worry about that. So now I make a video once a day, and I post it on all my platforms, and I want to get to twice a day, then I'll get to 3 times a day, and I want to get to every day. Right now it's probably going to be Monday through Friday. A part of that too, though, is so that I can spend Saturday and Sunday making content for some of the less popular social media apps, or the ones that I just don't like interacting with, especially TikTok. Like, they're a minute long, and there's so much you can do to it. For me, I just want to get my message out, and trying to figure out what's going to be cool or what's going to be nice or what's going to draw the most attention, I'm not interested. And if that's for you, like, kudos to you. I'm so glad that that works for you, because it doesn't work for me. And I hope that it really helps you to reach your goals, even if you're not using it as something that's going to help you reach your goals in your dreams. I hope that it just satisfies you and makes you happy, and you don't feel like doing it just because it's a new trendy thing. Do things because they make you happy, and give yourself credit and forgive yourself for moments that you do things that didn't work out the way that you wanted to. Making content doesn't work out the way you wanted to, by no means. And there's never going to be a moment of perfection. And if you do find it and you're like, that's the one, that's the video, you still need to prepare for the fact that other people might not feel that way. And you have to cope with that. So that's why I prepared and planned and took a longer time to make content, because for me, I needed to mentally be prepared. And I needed to know some of the things that I was willing to accept and things that I'm not willing to accept, as far as comments and sharing or anything like that. But that applies to everything, seriously. If you're dating and you have boundaries and limitations, please do what's best for you. And if you know that something is very triggering, figure out a way to cope with whatever that is, because whoever you're dating doesn't deserve that. And granted, a lot of it is out of your control, and granted, a lot of it you don't know that you're triggered until you are. But you should plan, and it's not for them. It's not so that you won't go off on them or whatever the case may be. It's so that you know that you are triggered by some things that other people in your past have done, and now you know how you want to handle it if it occurs again in this relationship, or how you want to bring attention to it. Again, that's applicable to other things. Like, if you're looking to get promoted and you're putting in all the work, like right now, I always do this. I work on my job side and I work on my side hustle side. So on my job end, I am trying to go into project management. Right now, I'm a project scheduler. So, one of the things that I'm doing is I'm reaching out to other people within project management within my company, or the company I work at, not mine. My company is BackStage Touring, and that's going to be the greatest company on earth. But we'll talk about that more in depth in the coming weeks. I really want to focus on the fact that I am reaching out to people and asking questions, and they're connecting me with other resources. And I'm getting to a point now where I have a team of people that I can reach out to for any questions, comments, concerns. And I'm doing this for two reasons. One, because I need to know what I'm missing. What skills don't I have? What do I need to work on in the next few months or year that's going to help me to be a more qualified and more prepared candidate? So there's that. And secondly, is to let the other people in the group know how talented I am, because I'm very aware of my skill set, and I'm very aware that I can do this job with no problem, very easily. But I don't have the experience. I don't have the years that says I have these skills and other people can attest to it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm reaching out to people so that they can attest to it. So when it comes to time for me to reach out and see if another position or an opening has occurred, I'll be able to say, I was mentored by so-and-so, you can speak to them. I went to this meeting, that meeting, this meeting. I've established a connection with so-and-so and so-and-so. It's to help make me look more prepared. And it actually does prepare me. But the downside is that doesn't guarantee me the position at all. So I have to put in the work today to cope with the fact that in a year from now, it might not have done me any good. And it'll feel like a waste of time. It'll feel like, defeat, like a failure. And I have to tell myself today that that's not the case. I put the work in. I reached out to people and I was consistent and I followed up with people and I did everything within my power. So if it gets to the point where I don't get the job that I'm looking for, that's okay. like move on, and I'll be okay. If anything, I'll be a better person because it'll let me know, okay, I can either go to another company, I can figure out why. I have options. That's not the end of the road for me. And nothing really is. And nothing should be. If I was playing a sport and we lost a season, that doesn't mean I'm coming back into the next season just like, oh, we're going to lose this one. No, I spend the time in between there practicing my butt off. In moments where people don't see it. Not just during practice for whatever sport I'm going out for, but when I'm at home. And the best part about all of this is it's your time. It's your life. So if I want to fit in an extra meeting, then I can skip lunch and do an extra meeting. That's my choice. Whether or not I get paid for it, that'll be debatable. But I can choose where I want to allocate my time and where I want to grow in and how those things are going to affect me down the line. Another example is right now I am trying to do the website part of my business. Next is the finishing of the app because it's a web app. And so I am trying to determine how long that's going to take me. not to give myself a deadline, more so to provide myself with a plan and to say, okay, this is what you need to do next, and this is how long it should take you. And if not, I prepare for it today that, hey, I gave myself 4 weeks and I'm not done. That's okay. I gave myself 4 weeks. I don't have to stress out about that. And I find that a lot of people will do that. They'll say, I got to have this done by so and so time, but you gave yourself that deadline. Especially with body images. Just like, I got to be 20 pounds lighter by November. You gave yourself that deadline, and then November comes around and you're upset and mad, and just be happy that you tried and try again. Dust yourself off and say, okay, this is my new goal, instead of feeling like you're defeated and stopping. So after the website, after finishing the app, I want to learn about investments, then I want to learn about marketing, I want to learn other languages, I want to learn how to do the splits. Like, all of this takes time, and I could give myself some stringent deadline and be super stressed out about it, or I can say, these are the things that I want to accomplish. I'll get there. But as soon as I finish one thing, I definitely have to start up another thing. And I have to incorporate it into my life. So if that's on a weekly, a daily, whatever the case may be, whatever you're trying to get to, celebrate that. So if I do it one week, I'm super happy that I did it. If I miss it the next week, I'm super happy that I get an opportunity to do it again, right? And if I keep missing it, I still have that same mentality. I have another chance. I have another chance. I have another chance. So I don't want people to sit out here and feel defeated because of something that you gave yourself. You told yourself that you wanted to be able to do the splits. You wanted to be able to dunk. Whatever the case may be, you made that choice, and you can determine, okay, I want to give myself another chance. And that's in a lot of things. Like I was saying earlier, like my posts, I wasn't hashtagging them like I wanted to, and sometimes I still miss it. And I'm not on all the social media platforms I want to be on, but I started. And that has to count for something because it counts to me. Nobody else is going to be like, yay, you did it, keep going, da 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 da. Like, yes, you will have supporters, that's for sure. But they're not going to be there in those quiet moments when you're like, I really don't want to do this. They're just not. So you have to figure out how to cheer yourself on. You have to figure out how to cope with the fact that you could end up with negative results. You could end up not getting the very thing you're trying to work your butt off to do. And that's okay. You're not the only one. You're not the first one. You won't be the last. But keep going because you're worth it. Seriously, don't give up. And I know that's super hard to say because it happens. But try again. And keep trying until you've determined that you don't like it as to why you can't accomplish it. Or you can't find a compromise in order to reach that goal. It's all up to you. So I love you. I believe in you. Have a happy day. And as always, please help defund the police.